extermination. Fight cell by cell through bodies and mind streams of the earth. Souls rotten from the orgasm drug, flesh shuddering from the ovens. Prisoners of the earth, come out. Storm the studio. Burnt metal smell of interplanetary war in the raw noon streets, swept by streaming glass blizzards, enemy black. Shift labels, break doorways, cut word lines, photo falling, word falling, breakthrough in gray room. Towers, open fire. Partisans of all nations, open fire. Guilt, blast, bound, stab, trap, kill. Prisoners of the earth, open fire.
Every soul shall know what it is set forth and left behind. Hear me now, selector, check, this world is gone hyper. Types of terrorists and maniacs, anthrax and snipers, homicide bombers that strike from planes and light the nights up, and suicide bombers that use their bodies just to fight them. And the war is won by addicts and masters of disasters. Send your son across the waters so the oil price is managed. In the desert, life is cheap as scars on any rugged streets. Where hunger is a crime, some countries everybody's hungry, and it's ugly over minefields. It's dangerous to dance like skydiving with your legs tied, holding scissors in your hands. On the other side, they've got to realize we struggling too. We have our families in our arms, don't shoot. We believe in righteousness and God, don't you? Books and bullets don't go crazy, men and trigger fingers do. Books and bullets don't go crazy, men and trigger fingers do. Books and bullets don't go crazy, men and trigger fingers do. This is the handbook for the apocalypse. The handbook for the apocalypse. Step 1, seek truth. Step 2, be proof. Step 3, wait patient, cause the sky's gonna open soon. A valid reason, tell me why it's steady raining in December and snowing in July. There's a steady rate of crime, record-breaking murder ride that should be chillin' because it's children, but we chillin', ain't surprised. And we strip the skies with physics, and we choking our despair. Drinking bottled water, we'll soon be buying bottled air. But if 1 torch, and 2 torch, and 3 torches light against darkness, the cause evolves, another flame ignites to define generations, raise crops from ice, burn Caesar's cold kingdom, and bring us new life. Cause the basic laws, what is risen falls like maple leaves. And once peace has been given, your peace shall be received. This is the handbook for the apocalypse. The handbook for the apocalypse. Step 1, seek truth. Step 2, be proof. Step 3, wait patient, cause the sky's gonna open. When the heavens fall asunder, and when the stars disperse, when the seas are commingled, and the graves overturn, every soul shall know what it is sent forth and left behind. Every soul shall know what it is sent forth and left behind. Ways you've never known. Always reaping what we sow. Always reaping what we sow. If it's war you want, it's war you get in ways we've never known. Always see the thorns, never get to see the rose. If it's war we want, it's war we'll get with what we know. Look what we know. Weather patterns colliding. Where should we go? Time is spinning, winning. Bombs are rejoicing. Children crying. Hunger is singing. War is laughing. Bombs are rejoicing. What do we know? What do we know?
No matter where he lives or what he does, can be certain who next will suffer from some senseless act of bloodshed. And yet it goes on and on and on in this country of ours. Bloodshed. Bloodshed.
Yeah.
Bloodshed. Bloodshed.
You are violating the trespass law. Will you identify yourself? You leave me no alternative but to ask Lieutenant Chandler to arrest you.
Mr. Van Houten,
You come with me then,
would
please.
you like to see our reg cards, sir? We'd be very glad, each one of us, to volunteer them to you and show it.
You're talking to all of us. You, as of now, are under arrest, and either you'll come with me peacefully, or we're going to take you. Either one, whichever you want to do.
Take all of us.
I'm talking to this person right here. Do you understand? I think you can cause your group a great deal of... Now, you're either going to come with me, or we're going to take you. All right. Would you get back, please? See, Murphy?
When he gets up, sit down. They haven't charged me with anything yet. I'm under arrest. I want to tell you about this knowledge factory that we're all sitting here now. It seems that certain of the products are not coming out to standard specifications. This is a knowledge factory. If you read Clark Kerr's books, these are his precise words. The knowledge factory takes certain assignments. They take orders from industry. They want so many of these. They want so many of these. The university very willingly obliges, and in fact turns out exactly what they are ordered. This is mass production. No deviations from the norms are tolerated. Occasionally, some students get together and they decide that they are not willing to be products. They decide they're not willing to be another thing produced by the university. And they protest, and the university feels obliged, and I'm sure all these gentlemen here feel very morally upset about this. They're not cruel men. But I'll tell you about that in a minute. It might take a while to arrest me. They feel obliged to purge these non-standard products. We want to see social change in the world in which we live. We are human beings who have ideas. We think, we talk, we discuss. We feel that we as human beings first and students second must take our stand on every vital issue which faces this nation, and in particular the vital issue of discrimination, of segregation, of poverty, of unemployment.
Following this speech, the police came to carry out the arrest. Jack went limp and was carried to a waiting police car. Students sat down around the car and refused to let it pass. Then, with the permission of the bewildered police, persons who wished to speak stood on the roof of the car, and a dialogue was opened.
Journey to my soul, but the police just pulled me over. It's kind of funny if you think about the fact that I wasn't even driving, but seated at my desk, yet apparently I was speeding 30, 40, 50 light years past the speed limit, and I didn't even realize it. See, I've been doing this poetry so long, I actually thought I could find myself through it. Going back, the proverbial return, where my ego and self reform their original wholeness. I just have to look past all these mass murderers that masquerade as teachers and leaders, killing my dreams of self-knowledge with images of destruction and fear. Coding my subconscious has got my unconscious in a fit. It makes me nervous terrorists just go out in public. It gives me nightmares until I have to sit here and write them away. But I think my computer must be bugged. I think my computer must be bugged, cause I was on a journey to my soul. But the police just pulled me over. They asked me if I knew anything or anyone who had served in the military of another country, or who had acted peculiar, or maybe even celebrated the day terrorists blew up the WTC. I said, wait, please don't ask me another question about where I'm from or how I got here. See, I was on a journey to my soul, but somehow I landed in jail. And I don't mean behind bars in the pen, cause this prison lives in the mind. Fronts as paradise, depresses the imagination, locks up creativity with the simple stroke of government ink. Religious fervor, political righteousness, public frenzy makes victim every freedom it used to preach. Frozen investments that kill teachers and poets, whose inspiration relies on the community's faith, not the government's pockets. See, I used to write books, now I study the stock market, wondering which company's crash will lead to more military spending. See, I know that budgets are casualties, but the spirit is bleeding. I was on a journey to my soul, now they're going through my ID. They noticed I had a Slavic name and started to ask me about when my family immigrated to the United States. I said, during World War II, my grandfather was an anti-communist Chetnik who fought the Germans and Russians in Yugoslavia before he had to escape to Italy, before he made it to England, where he met my German grandmother, and together they immigrated to the steel mills of Gary, Indiana? Yeah, not Montana, Paris, France, or Rome, but Gary, Indiana. You know, the place that Opie Cunningham sang about, the place the Jackson 5 left, that all-American place that became the murder capital of the United States. But that's not me. I'm from California, Chula Vista, near the Mexican border. I'm not an illegal alien, but my mother came to California to escape my father. She is Mexican and Cuban, born here. Her parents immigrated from Jalisco, Mexico, y La Habana, Cuba. Mira chico, no te diste cuenta que yo soy cubano. A mí me gusta cha-cha-cha, salsa swing, ya no te dije. Pero también soy chicano. We died in your wars. So unless you want me to call 23 million of my closest friends and boycott your ass, you better leave me alone. Think of all the grapes that won't get picked. Think of your life without orange juice. I know how important regular digestion is to you people. See, I was on a journey to my soul, but now you got me started. Now you got us all started. It's gonna take more than a ticket to teach me a lesson. Your schools were torture enough, and deportation only spreads the disease. Dis-ease within America. No safe way to keep track of who's coming and going. Spreading America all over the world. Spreading America all over the place, until there are no foreigners left, except maybe you. You are listening to the United Broadcast and Hologram Network. Here now the news. Mormon separatists stormed a genetic complex, detonating its cellulators and clone manufacturing facility yesterday. The clone-making plant was in the process of upgrading its system from smart tubes to using the more popular IMGen method of growing life forms from crystals. 12 people were killed in the incident, along with 2 members of the United Police Authority. A spokesman for the UPA said yesterday that since trillions of dollars worth of damage was done to the facility, the matter would be turned over to the insurance police. Human Needs and One Earth activists held a holographic protest this morning which took place over the skies of United West Europe. The protesters claim that this is a second phase in a 3-part pact with reptilians to improve the environment and continue to make slaves of Earth's population. Ambassador Ivy Lease of United Europe's West Sector claims the allegations are, quote, preposterous because, to her knowledge, no such beings as reptilians exists. Another tragic accident has taken the lives of 150,000 people infected with the deadly Gambio virus while they were being transported from their quarantine facilities in Arizona to an undisclosed location. When asked where the patients were going or why they were being moved, Thor Rosenblum of the Population and Disease Crisis Center refused to comment. When questioned on how the patients died, Rosenblum said, quote, "The sound wave level of the sonic rail mysteriously dropped to an unbearable frequency, causing the train and everyone aboard it to implode from the vibration." Human Needs activists say that this was not an accident, yet another blatant act of genocide in an attempt to exterminate the disease and everyone with it before it spreads again. It is reported that at least 12 million people are potential carriers of the Gambio virus in the United States alone. Those people are ordered by the insurance police to report to the United Disease Control Center the moment symptoms appear. Doctors are asking co-workers as well as family members to report anyone with the virus who are easily spotted by orange eyes, sudden blindness, bleeding through the pores in the face and chest, green-colored acidic vomit, photophobia, and mutated genitalia. In weather, the metallic clouds sighted over the Pacific yesterday are moving rapidly towards California. Residents are reminded to shield up. There's mandatory biosuit laws for the entire state of California, and temperatures there below zero for the next 2 weeks. On the East Coast, rain continues. And again, these rain clouds have crystallized and anchored themselves from Old New Jersey to the entire tri-state area. And to be honest with you folks, we don't see those crystallized clouds moving anytime soon. In sports, Malevuan Wamlam Ali bin Ibn Sadiki Moore Ill broke 5 world records in long distance, basketball, baseball, football, and mountain climbing. The Olympiad, winner of the Golden Gloves, Heisman Trophy, World Series, and Super Bowl champion, says he still hasn't learned to speak English yet because he doesn't really like it here. But as long as we keep paying him trillions of dollars, he'll keep coming back and waving our flag. Oh, shit. You are watching the United Broadcast Hologram Network. I'm Sergeant Crowley, and that's the news for 6 p.m. Friday, June 9th, 2029.
where the cry of pain is in the bone, and where your darkness prowls around us night long, approaches and retreats, confronts us snarling, devours the hours, is all coincidence that thus together everything meets upon this tip of time. Your hand that murdered men, or drew the morning out of the seventh file, or rolled the mountains against the tombs of all the gods, or poured the zeros one on other and destroyed the indestructible to create the new, came like a flame from sand, re-entered water, was braided like the ice, became a wall, sang through the trumpet of eternity, and now descended, holds a greasy key, and presses it against a greasy lock. Your hand releases me, its filth is on me. The holy filth of long corruption comes coldly upon me as an absolution. Sharply we flaw in this foul farewell. But God's terrific wing that day came down, loud on the world, as loud and white as snow. Out of the blue, the white, and then the silence. Oh, Ruby, come again and turn the time. Ruby, your name is Matrix, rock of ages, cloven by lightning, smitten by thunder, the surged upon deep shore interminable, the long nebulous waves, the foam of time, beating upon you, breaking upon you, foam, the world-long fruitfulness of assuaging sea, hammers of foam. O Ruby, come again, be broken for our simple coming forth. Let the rocks fall upon us with fearful sound, the long bright glacier of the stars be broken, the beginning and the final word be spoken. Come again, and turn the world, this world that is your turning and returning, matrix, mother, mistress, menstrual moon, wafer of scarlet in the virgin void. Oh, come again and turn the world to thought. But God's terrific wing that day came down, loud on the world, as loud and white as snow. Out of the blue, the white, and then the silence. Oh, Ruby, come again and turn the time. Ruby, your name is Matrix, rock of ages, cloven by light, wingless mind and brief epitome of God's forgetfulness, angel of bright consciousness, will be going forth into the treacherous envelope of sunlight. Those who have put on that cloak of light, that sheath of air, return as the sons of darkness. When they return once more from the black ocean of dark omega, by those wild waves washed up with stars and hours, brought home at last from nowhere to nothing, pause in the simple light and speak to each other slowly, but tread apart on the wind like dancers, born by unearthly music to unearthly peace. The house of evening, the house of clouds, vast hall of which the walls are walls of everywhere, enfolds them like a wind which blows out lights, and they are there, lying apart, lying alone, those three who went forth suddenly in the morning, and now return, estranged and changed. But before tears can fall, they are asleep.
In the streets of Chicago. Gas mask quick, they're yelling. They're taking off their helmets, putting on their gas masks. And the demonstrators are putting up their makeshift masks. That is to say, their torn shirts and their handkerchiefs around their mouths. I can see them shooting gas through the flamethrower. Yes, gas is being used over there. It's being shot into the crowd. My God, it's strong. It's kind of a yellow smoke. Gotta get out of here. There goes a big blast of tear gas right into the crowd. The crowd is trying to retreat. I can't see. I gotta get out of here. I can't cover this story anymore. It's too strong, I can't see. I'm gonna get far away. The hell with this story. Goodbye. You got me in the face. Oh, man.
Just hang on. Don't rub it, man. It makes it worse. You rub it in.
What do I do?
Just leave it until we get you some water and then you wash it off. We'll have water at the gas station over here.
I can't see. Where am I?
I'm hanging on to me and I can see fine.
I saved this one opportunity to speak briefly to you about the mindless menace of violence in America, which again stains our land and every one of our lives. It's not the concern of any one race. The victims of the violence are black and white, rich and poor, young and old, famous and unknown. There is another kind of violence, slower, but just as deadly destructive as the shot or the bomb in the night. This is the violence of institutions, indifference, inaction, and decay. This is the violence that afflicts the poor, that poisons relations between men, because their skin
I'm walking with my son under a blood-drenched sky. Says, Pop, man, how'd it come to be like this? I tell them we were victims of insidious idiots, eliciting innocent immigrants to integrate irrational nationalism into the colonized mind state. Hindsight highlights the high rate of hop. Hail to the thief, unabashedly fascists made their way through a matrix of mayhem, and mediocre men amended civil liberties to legitimize piracy on our privacy. Only thing that was still free in this was speech, and each word would reach worlds like spring birds with wings hurled against the curling torrent of a maddening rain, happening habitually like ritual pain. Tell me again, Pop. I know he'll tell me. He'll say it's a conundrum. I'm wondering why we wandering under a blood-red sky. You too smart. Pop, where was you? Tell him I tried to supersize simple truths and stretch it wide, but never lie. Good with words, it's a blessing not to casually subvert. Curses on the names of other men, and they just men. Not gods with infinite power like this earth, they will burn in the end. The fire next time is not in the mind, no matter how hard they pretend. Just raise his hand and say, Pop. Then tell me a little more. Tell him all major wars from Peloponnesian to Philippine shores are fought over ego and access to natural resources. No remorse for the orphan Bosnian girls, turning stones to bread, using distant memories to clothe themselves in the night, to bury their dead. We eat in front of television sets. In a month the food is gone and Those images recede into canon of forgotten histories, like her story was never real. Never mind, I will tell my son my cool veneer come undone, like the lucid language from a whiskey-soaked tongue. Body slumped, hung over either side of the fence. Man, it made great tactical sense is what I'll tell him. We had a war to forget our slipping economy, and we had football to forget we were having a war. Millions dissented all over the world. Somewhere in the throng was a young Palestinian girl, still tasting her own blood, not the kind splattered on the PlayStation or the so-called real-life games our generation loves. He says, "Pop, how accountable were you? I'm walking with my son. What's up with your crew? Y'all who voted for the Green Party, Red Noam Chomsky, Howard Zinn, CNN, leftist, vegan, free me, and the cat probably bought this CD. How accountable were abolitionists in Boston Harbor? Children, wives, and abusive fathers. Churches that didn't speak out on Hitler, the people who saw the faces of Kennedy's killers, post-apocalyptic reflections on the present. There's always been a mass of people who heard the message on a different frequency, could clearly see, but died blind, dead so peers could sleep in peace. Now for years they rest in peace. Protest melodies sit stillborn, rotting with the flesh. Millions of victims who were silenced to death. Silence is death, so we shout to dead pop. What about you? Tell him, man, I just try to tell the truth. And what about you? I'm walking with my son under a blood-drenched sky. Truth is out there.
War is good for business. Invest your son. Yes, so I'm asking all of us to transcend what is coming at us on all sides and to think carefully and clearly. Because if we are all going to be herded into actions which are more dangerous even than what we are facing now, then we will later regret the fact that we went all along silently and didn't raise our voices as citizens to ask, how can we get at the roots of this problem? And what can we do about it? And all of us can do something, can speak up. That's the most important thing, to ask questions. It's the American thing, it's the patriotic thing to do, to question, to ask. Everybody must be involved. I remember during the Vietnam War, I keep going back because there's certain historical moments when learning is more intense than at any other period. And this is one of those moments too, right now, after September 11th. But Vietnam was one of those moments when learning is compressed into a short span of time and place. And one of the things we learned about during those years was about experts and about when the war started and people would ask questions, why are we there? So we'd listen to the experts. The experts would get on television and tell us why we're there. That all of us, whatever we do, have the right to make moral decisions about the world, and undeterred by the cries that will come up, oh, you don't know. These people up there, they know. Well, it takes only a little bit of history to realize how dangerous it is to think that the people who run the country know what they're doing. Governments lie. Governments lie. Very important to remember. Governments lie. I mean, not just the American government. Governments in general lie. say all governments lie, it may sound like anarchists say it. The anarchists have something there. They're right to be skeptical and suspicious of people who hold governmental power, because the tendency of people who hold governmental power is to lie in order to maintain that power. But here are all these people rushing to get in line, rushing to get inside the perimeter of power. And it's the job of the artist to transcend that, to think outside the boundaries, to dare to say things that no one else will say. And fortunately, we've had all through history artists who dared to do that. Because as soon as you speak outside the boundaries, as soon as you say things that are different than what the establishment is telling you to say, what the newspapers, what the media, what everybody, including leading intellectuals, are telling you to say, as soon as you do that, the question of your patriotism arises. And Mark Twain said about patriotism, about loyalty, which people asked him, why aren't you loyal? He said, my kind of loyalty is loyalty to one's country, not to its institutions or its office holders. The country is the real thing, the substantial thing, the eternal thing. It is the thing to watch over and care for and be loyal to. Its institutions are extraneous. There it's mere clothing, and clothing can wear out, become ragged. Cease to be comfortable. Cease to protect the body from winter, disease, and death. To be loyal to rags, to shout for rags, to worship rags, to die for rags. That is the loyalty of unreason. This is important because in the present discussion, boundaries have been set. Lines have been drawn, and people who go outside those boundaries and dare to criticize official policy are called unpatriotic and disloyal. When they say that, when they accuse dissenters of that, they have forgotten the meaning of loyalty and the meaning of patriotism. Patriotism does not mean support for your government. Patriotism means support for your country, as Mark Twain said. Or as Emma Goldman said, I love the country, but I don't love the government.
when I remembered Zion, seeing the water that can't quench fire and the fire that burn up rivers. Lord, I'm gonna say my say real quick and simple. You know about this war that's fighting the skies and gouging out the earth. Last month, Lord, I did my last boy away to fight. I got all my boys fighting now for their country. Didn't think about it except it was for freedom. Didn't think cause they was black, they wasn't American. Didn't think a thing except that they was my only son. And there was mothers all over the world sacrificing their sons like you let yours be nailed to the wood for men to behold the right. There's a fire in this land like a last judgment. Help these men to see they losing while they winning. When can I pray again? View peace in my own parlor again. Blood on the darkness, Lord, blood on the pavement. What has we done? They're planting the seeds of hate down in our bone marrow when we don't want to hate. We don't speak much in the streets where I live, my God. Nobody speak much, but we're thinking deep of the black sons and lands far as the wind can go. We're thinking deep about their sisters stitching airplane canvas, and their old fathers plowing for wheat, and their mothers bending over wash tubs, their brothers at the factory wheels. They all is being body beat and spirit beat and heart sore and wondering. Listen, Lord, there ain't nowhere for black mothers to turn. Won't you plant your son's goodness in this land before it's too late?
Peace. They woke me this morning to tell me my brother had been killed in battle. Yet in the garden, uncurling moist petals, a new rose blooms on the bush. And I am alive, and still breathe the fragrance of roses. Eat, pray, and sleep.